The first scene of the movie reveals that the narrator is telling his story through the words he writes on paper in an Estonian jail. This immediately sets the tone of prevalent teenage crime in the area. Mina Olin Siin, or I Was Here, is not only a film that tells the story of a struggling Estonian teen drug dealer named Rass. It is a film that is able to give Estonian viewers a look into a subculture in Estonia that they may not be familiar with, the organized crime and drug culture. This film takes place in Tallinn and is by Estonian director Rene Vilbre. It is based on the book Mina Olin Siin, Esimene Arrest, or I Was Here, the First Arrest, written by Sassana. The drug problems presented in Mina Olin Siin are accurate, given that Estonia has Europe's worst drug problem. Dr. Robert Winslow, a researcher from San Diego University, noted that this is because of Estonia's geographical position. He explained that because Estonia is in between Central Europe, Russia, and Western Europe, it is a strategic place to trade. Through ferry boats, Estonia is also very accessible to the Nordic countries of Finland and Sweden. Winslow states, "The volume of this ferry traffic, disgorging thousands of package-laden tourists at a time, makes it difficult for police to monitor possible trafficking." Dr. Winslow also explains that the crime rate in Estonia is very high compared to other European countries and increased by 250% since 1987. Organized crime is said to be a big worry for officials, and this was well represented in Mina Olin Siin, with the relationships of the different drug-dealing groups and how they competed with one another. Teenage crime is a big problem. Out of the 9 prison institutions in Estonia, 7 are closed or semi-closed, and 2 are specified for young offenders. Winslow also states that the overwhelming majority of reported crimes in Estonia were cases of theft. This is also illustrated in the first half hour of the movie, where Rass has to steal license plates in order to drive a car that Ruslan stole from him, so that Rass could later make runs for Ruslan to steal gallons of gasoline in return for a share of the profit. It is possible that the extent of some of the crime in this film was exaggerated to produce a thrilling effect. Mina Olin Siin is not based on a true story. However, the events portrayed in this film do represent contemporary Estonian crime and therefore give the film credibility of representing a realistic Estonia for the time. Although the film does produce a part of Estonian culture, it does not produce a part that purposely calls on the nation's identity. Estonia does not want to be known for drug abuse and theft, while Belgium gets to be known for waffles. Instead, the film can show Estonians a subculture of drugs and crime within the nation while giving them entertainment in the form of an action thriller. Mina Olin Siin takes Estonian setback reality and produces a realistic depiction of the problems at hand. Some foreign films are less like Mina Olin Siin and can be produced to advertise and sustain the identity of a country, but this is not the case with Mina Olin Siin. The differences with this film are that there are no known stereotypical cultural bits of Estonia that is being highlighted, not that there are many significant Estonian cultural symbols known of. The fact that this movie does not have much obvious culture makes it more naturally Estonian and less of an advertisement for the foreign film industry. When watching the film, one might bring up the fact that Mina Olin Siin has a lot of American culture posed in front of the camera, and that this makes the movie less Estonian. Indeed, there is American culture in the movie, however, it being there actually makes the film even more Estonian, because Estonia, like every other nation, is not purely its own culture. This would explain the incorporation of the characters driving a German car, Mercedes-Benz, and watching Olympic curling. It is also important to note that most of Europe has been influenced by Hollywood and fairly present-day American culture that was introduced during both World Wars. In some scenes of Mina Olin Siin, the viewer can spot some of Rass's friends wearing a Yankee cap in Echo Unlimited, which is an American clothing company. Or there's even a scene where Rass's stepbrother, Mosa, is viewed wearing a New York City t-shirt. The soundtrack is also predominantly, if not all, comprised of English-speaking songs including It's a Motherfucker by the Eels, which is a Californian alternative rock band. It is a reality that what has been originally American has been put into European urbanity. Therefore, to see some of the United States culture in the movie only makes the film more naturally Estonian. Mina Olin Siin is a contemporary Estonian film because it is natural. By natural, I mean that the culture of Estonian is not being exaggerated to produce a film that publicizes Estonian identity and nationality. The fact that it is natural makes it a real Estonian film because it is sharing a contemporary society that the people currently in it can relate to. The film is about problems that are in the news and are reality for modern-day Estonia. There are admittedly some parts of the movie that are particularly Estonian that could be seen as bits of the movie produced to promote national identity. For instance, the characters spoke Estonian and are filmed drinking Vanatallin, which is an Estonian liquor. But these forms of Estonian identity are not the big pictures of the film. Mina Olin Siin looks at real, contemporary Estonian problems, and by representing the hardships that have arisen, it can reflect on the emotional and personal stories of the nation. It is not a movie made for non-nationals, and it is not a movie that is trying to present what would make the nation Estonian to foreigners.
It's a motherfucker being here without you. Thinking about the good times, thinking about the bad. And I